I'm recording the session because we want to share this with madam's family. So I hope all are okay with it. Okay. So yesterday I heard at College of Social Work there was a condolence meeting, and I took a photo from here. If you can see here, Dr. Reddy Madam, Arna Reddy Madam, and Dr. Anandraj Madam, and Shashikala Madam, and Manila Madam, and Reddy Saab, and also Rafi. These are the few. Biden, maybe there were students in our audience, but I saw this. They have had a meeting. And another picture that I like to share is which this is the first batch, right? First batch of students. We have here Dr. Laldas, Dr. Saraswati Madam, and Anna Anandraj Madam, and Anna Mathew Madam. Mathew Madam is also here. So, and then the first batch of students. Am I right? The first batch is this, right? MSW first batch.
Yes, Sudershan.
Yeah. And then I have another photo where we have Dr. Nana Mathew Madam and Dr. Saraswati Madam. And here another one of the oldest photos. Some students have shared this. This is also very here. Mathew Madam teaching the students maybe on the computer early. Is the first batch students again or the second batch? I see one face I recognize. This is a Kiran here.
That's
And
Patrick's
also
batch.
Patrick is also here. I see Patrick. Yeah. And one more student I recognize.
Yeah.
I don't remember that name. Ravikant? Yeah.
Kiran? I can recognize Kiran.
Yeah. Go ahead, ma'am.
Kiran and Patrick. And Beechma, is it Balakrishna or someone? I think it's Balakrishna.
Yeah, Balakrishna. Right, ma'am. Yeah.
GHMC. Wala.
Yeah. So these are some pictures. There are few more pictures that I got, but I could not arrange them in slideshow. But I'll complete it and share with you all along with this video presentation. We can share with Dr. Matthews, Madam's family. Okay. Let me stop sharing the screen. And I have not acknowledged Dr. Kantha Rao is here, my colleague on this LLC session for a long time. Hello, how are you?
I'm fine. Thank you.
Okay.
Hello, Anna.
So let us begin with, I would like Madam Anna Anandraj Madam to start with her remarks, and then we all can share our thoughts about Madam.
Thank you, Sudershan. Thank you, Kantha Rao. You children have been taking it up and you were taking it forward. Nice to see Girija and Ashtekar and Parvati and Raghuram. You joined us all the way from Singapore. That's really so wonderful. This only shows us, and I'm right here in the security hold area. Anytime the boarding call is given, I need to come back to Hyderabad. But I just want to say a very, very few things about Dr. Mathew. Number one, of all of us who have been meeting all these years, we are the oldest. We are the ones who have known her for the longest time. Maybe Kantha Rao can also join that gang. Since 1977, we've been associated. But our association has been very close. She's been such a good, when someone said only teachers and then corrected and said not colleagues and all that, I can always say that I have learned a lot from her. She's been a very gracious person, and she was very genuine in teaching all that. There was no other matlabs in what she would teach you. So she brought a lot of wealth from Lucknow University, where she was already on the faculty. Whereas all of us others, we have that is Venki, Saras and I, we had straight joined after our masters from our own colleges. So Dr. Mathew was so very approachable, unassuming in all what she did, whether it was principalship, whether it was anything, it did not go to her head. And that was a very sterling quality, because everyone else, any little kind of a thing happening, immediately it goes to your head and you have a puffed up head. Whereas not with Dr. Mathew. She was so humble in all her attitudes. She was an excellent teacher. She was very, very simple in the way she approached any topic, whether it was casework or anything else that she taught. Even the children who were doing their doctoral work under her have really, really appreciated her. And that was such a beautiful thing about her. Yes, she was very elegant and classy in all the way she would dress up and everything we would remember. And we had a lot of share a lot to give to us by way of her contribution to us. We were so young, none of us were married of the four of us, and then we got married and we started homes, we had our children, children were growing up. In all these different stages, many of you can now identify yourselves with that. In all our developmental stages, Dr. Mathew had stood with us as a true friend. So for that, I want to give you the tribute. I want to honor her. And I want to say, such a gracious person. You could always learn something from her. Of course, towards the end, she was not well, and she was such a private person. She didn't want anyone to know. It's just the 2-3 of us who got to know about it. She mentioned it to us, and she said, please don't. It was in the context of my son being in the hospital below. He's a doctor, so she said, I'm looking for Arpud. I want to contact him. Now I've come here for so-and-so treatment. So I was very shocked. And so I asked her. That's when she told me and said, please keep it to yourself. And so that's how it happened. It was some time ago. And then one night, Mohan called and said, this is a thing that's happening. I am not sure Usha will be able to, the thing she's not doing well. So we were also shocked, but we couldn't talk to her because she kind of didn't pick up any of the calls. But one thing I want to say is that we have been praying for her, and she has the faith in God, and that's the what we call as a blessed hope. You cross Jordan, and onto the other side, she has moved on. She has fought the good fight, and she has reached home, and she is resting with the Lord. And that was her faith. And to that, she has been, her funeral is, the meaning of that is that she's buried. And one day when the Lord returns to take us home, she will rise up again. So I have such great regard for this one simple person she was. We will not call her totally brilliant or anything. She did not do any of those kind of things, but in her own very simple way, she impacted all of us. There is not one person who can say, she didn't impact me, she was like this, she was like that. We cannot say that. All of us are together in one footing. We can say she was a great person. And that I give thanks to God, because God has really, really helped us. There were difficulties in our life. We know this is some 40 odd years of association. And in all of that, God has protected her, provided for her. And this is something which I want to place it on record. Now, our prayers are for Mohan, Rohit, and Divya. And we know that God will definitely take care of them and continue her legacy. We would follow in her example because she was a great mentor, and we will continue to be reflecting that love that she received from God and showed to us. So I thank you all very much for giving me this opportunity. The other day, Parvati and other children had a program, but I couldn't make it because I was held up. I was really totally out. And so I couldn't make it. Whereas with Rafi, the entire day almost we spent in giving tribute to Dr. Mathew and the life that was lived very beautifully. So with these words, I think I can stop and allow the others to continue. Yeah, thank you, Sudarshan. Thank you, Kantha Rao. Thank you for
Thank you, ma'am.
all the good efforts you children have taken up.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. So there are a couple of others joining. So there's some of them are on the phones, I think. Yeah.
Sudarshan,
we have-
Madam Saraswati has joined.
Oh, yeah, I see that. Yeah. Good evening, ma'am. Good evening, ma'am.
Hello. No, I think that's Professor Saraswati Raju
Oh,
Iyer,
Saraswati Raju.
alumni,
Raju
who's
Iyer.
now with
Okay.
the Andhra
Yeah.
University.
So I think anybody can take turn and keep
I'll go now.
sharing your experiences. Yeah.
Sudarshan,
go ahead.
Dr. Sudarshan, I'll speak.
Yeah, please.
My association with Dr. Mathew was, college was going through very difficult times when we moved from Old City to Red Hills. And that was 77. Whole set of new teachers came, Venkat, Anna Madam, Matthews. It was I would say all these new teachers have really helped the college to come back to its, come out of the crisis. And especially I remember, of course, I was not a student of Mathew Madam directly, but she had that smile, always loving smile, very open. You could have walked into her even though you are not her student. You can walk into her and she's so kind enough to address your questions. What I liked about Mathew ma'am is she's a keen learner. Even in this community, learning community, in those days when we had some presentation, especially my presentation, I remember her asking very interesting questions like a student. And that touched me. And I didn't know that she was going through her health issues. Now I feel bad. We have lost her. A very sad thing. A very loving, touching teacher. Yeah, that's all I want to share.
Yeah. Definitely, she is outstanding and a remarkable teacher, unparalleled, because she has a certain character that the way she role model teacher, whatever we have those ideas, a good teacher or a teacher who is with a perfect frame of mind and commitment and professionalism, and she embodied all of that. So really, it's outstanding that way. So let's keep going. So whoever wants to share.
So nice to see Saraswati and Raghuram from Singapore and Glory. Glory was directly Dr. Mathew's student. She did her doctoral work under her. So Glory is here, Prasanna is here, Praveen and Saujanya, Anjaya, you are here. So I'm so happy that all of you have gathered here. This only shows how respectful we are towards her. So yeah, others, you may please come forward and talk about Dr. Mathew.
Can I?
Sure, go ahead. Yeah.
The first day I entered into the Red Hills College building, the first person I saw was Dr. Anna Mathew ma'am, I think the college hasn't yet opened. I didn't know where the college was coming from, a very different background. And, when I was inquiring, people were telling me that inside that cancer building, all of you know how we all used to enter into that premises. So I was a little scared, as I was passing through that and entering into that, mortuary. And then from there, Then I went upstairs and nobody was there. And slowly, ma'am, peeped out. I was saying, hello, hello, anybody's there, anybody's there inside, like that, I was going through. Then ma'am came out and, spoke with me and inquired about me, about my background, and, why I chose to take up this particular course. And no, very, very, that engaging attitude that she had. Always I felt so comfortable talking to her. And that's with all the teaching work, etc., etc. And as others were sharing, she had a personal touch with every student, and she would give that extra time wherever it is possible. Ma'am, we would like to share with you, even I think even our personal problems also we could take to her, and take and she would guide us through. And and for my dissertation, I still remember the kind of discussions she would engage with me, and then guide me through that whole process. When you are getting lost and you feel like no, you should go more deep into it, and not understanding how much deep you can get into any kind of a dissertation work. So she would wade me through that process. And when I was going through a psychological trauma also of speaking to all the deserted women, my dissertation was on that. So she became a counselor also in that process to me. It's like, I don't think you would come across any lecturer who would be so engaging, so truthful, and so genuinely interested in a student's growth, and guiding them in which area you would like to go, etc., etc. I was really shocked, and that when the message was put up in the group that she's no more, I just couldn't believe it. And it's like such a loss, like as you feel about a parent, so close. She's like, we may not meet, keep me meeting her and regular basis, but that kind of a space she had in my heart. And oh, on and off, and she would just pick up a phone about some gender related issue and inquire with me. Girija, you let me know what exactly is the status of this issue, why it has become such kind of a engaging debate, etc., etc. So as Kantha Rao garu was sharing, uh, every time that trying to understand, trying to know what's happening in the field, and also understanding the debates. And such a genuine person, I think we very rarely we come across in our lives. And I'm very sorry that yesterday in the college, I didn't know about it. Otherwise, I would have surely tried to join for that meeting also. Anyhow, thank you, Sudarshan, that you have took up this, and allowed us to pay our tributes to her. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Next, anyone?
Anand, namaste. Can you hear me?
Namaste, Prasanna. Yeah,
Yeah,
we can
Prasanna.
hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good evening, friends. Actually, it is not so good to meet on occasions like this. Look forward to meeting on occasions like this, but are looking for occasions like this. But the passion with which we studied, that was instilled in us by the faculty that we had at that time. We had our ups and downs. We were in later adolescence age, and learning social work as a profession, as a practice, was a difficult thing for us. That was made easy, especially because coming from the language medium, vernacular medium, and trying to understand those books, huge books, actually lifting those books, whether it is Sutherland's book or Skidmore and Thackeray or Perlman, all those books, touching them, lifting them, using them, or reading through them, that was made easy by the faculty members. And I fondly remember the classes which we had. What's that? Which were especially those classes which were on methodology. We had Usha Madam teaching us social work methodology, and it was very difficult to think that there is a psychosocial approach that we need to take to handle the situations where we are dealing with individuals, groups, and communities. Though I have not done any field work under Usha Madam, but I only remember her mannerisms. She would quip fast, and she would smile. She would react to whatever emotions that we are expecting especially when we are handling the field situations. When we share with her those fieldwork situations, she would be immediate to answer, but she would be a very good listener. I remember her as a very good listener always, and you would get a feel that she is listening. It's very difficult to give a feel that somebody is listening to you very, very carefully to every word that you are speaking. Especially since I didn't know the English that was there in the books. I didn't know the English which the faculty members had. I was struggling learning to read, learning to understand understand English. That is, it is in those times that very, very, very empathetic listening, empathetic interaction, which we had with Madam Usha Madam, really helped. It's very difficult to remember every aspect, but the memories are very, very strong, especially those which are classroom interaction memories or outside the classroom interaction memories. So I am at a loss to actually to share my thoughts, but when we had the reunion, we had her coming to meet along with other faculty members, our PG first batch students, Shyam, myself, and Parvati, and others were there in that meeting. So it's very easy to interact with her. That's what I used to always feel, and that she would not be judgmental about what I am saying or what I am going through. That is what I felt as a great professional teacher that she was. So really, it was a bad news and sad news, difficult news to take. But then we are approaching 60s, or we are in 60s, so we are in the other half of the life. Today we Bachelor of Social Work 81, 84 batch. We met in Aruna's house. 14 of us we met here, and we had the fond memories of the college which we shared. We were here from 11 o'clock to now around 6:15. We just left at that place. So friends, this bonding of students, bonding of education, bonding of camaraderie was made possible with people like Anna ma'am, Usha ma'am, whom we will always remember for her smile and that beautiful birthmark which she had on the upper lip. So whenever I see anybody with that type of birthmark on the upper lip, I would recall Madam. And Madam, wherever you are, our prayers for you, our love for you, all of us all those people who studied under you will fondly remember the interactions that we had with you. Thank you very much, ma'am, for being there with us in our life, in our education. Namaste, ma'am.
Thank you, Prasanna. That was really a very powerful message that you have shared with us. A couple of things, it resonated with me because I was also sharing the same thoughts, especially two things that you said. One is very empathetic listening. Yes, I used to feel that way, even whenever I met with Dr. Mathew. She was listening, and she really understands what you are saying. Not always, you find a person who could understand what you are saying. Even in our own family also, we see that, we are not on the same page where we say, but she was such a brilliant person who could really place herself. She could understand any student at any level. So it's such a great thing to
Great
know.
willing listener. Yes, great willing listener. It's
Yeah.
very difficult to find listeners like her.
Yeah. And then another point that you mentioned resonated with me is non-judgmental. No matter what you're talking about, never, ever she gave any sense of judgment on you. So that means you could go to her, share any thought without being judged. And that's a wonderful quality. Not really many people have that. Very rarely you find people who have that quality. Okay, let me not take much of the time and let others share their thoughts. But I could not stop reconnecting with your points, couple of things that you said.
Thank you, Sudershan. Raghu here. I'll probably go next.
Yeah, please go ahead.
I think so. I came from I was one of those lucky, privileged guys and didn't know what my privilege was, because I came from a little bit opposite to what Prasanna was, English educated and all that, what whole lot of stupidity and niceness or whatever that comes with. And in that kind of atmosphere, when I came in, I think so, distinctly remember Anna, Madam. For me, I think apart from, sometimes I look back, it's a bit of a blur for me, but I think so her welcoming smile. I think some of you already said it. That made a huge connect. I remember, I think so I was with her on fieldwork, the way she will connect. I don't know if it's a vocational rehabilitation center, the way she will look at the fieldwork and the way she will give all the perspectives, call it the theoretical or the practical, and correlate both of them in the most, I think so the most simple manner where I could easily grasp. I was also going through a bit of an ideological shift, maybe veering towards left then. But I think so she brought in an equanimity in what she approached. In social work, you have to be very if I can say neutral or unbiased. And I think that's the element I saw always with her. Like some of you said, always smiling, always ready to help. Very rich. For me, this connecting back was a massive, what I call as a human expression. And then hearing that was a very, very sad news. I completely lost in touch. Wish I could correct. Maybe one of the calls I should have joined, you and, Kantha Rao's call, Kantha Rao Garu call, but I just couldn't. But again, thanks a lot for organizing this. It's a sad moment, but I'm like what Hannah Madam said. I think so. It'll wherever she is, she'll be in peace. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Raghu.
Thank you, Reddy.
Hi, Sudarshan. I'm Lakshman here.
Hi.
Lakshman.
Hi, Lakshman. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm very sorry to hear that news. I just wanted to put few words about Madam. She, being a teacher of psychology, she taught us the human behavior right from prenatal stage to senior citizens. The problems faced by senior citizens, the whole different stages of social psychology she used to teach us. I still remember that her teachings are certainly helping us one way or other in our day-to-day life. I pray God to rest her peace, rest her soul in peace. And I still, I have no words to express much more about her. I pray the Almighty to rest her peace once again, soul in rest. Thank you, Sudarshan.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Raghuram. Thank you, Lakshman. And I see Dr. Venkat Rao joining us. That's really great. I don't know what time it is there in Brisbane just now. And
Probably.
I just want to say one thing about the way you all said how she was a careful, very patient listener. She would not only listen, she will also follow through, which is a social work professional quality.
Yeah.
Today, if you
Best.
tell her I have this problem, the next morning when she meets you, she will be the first one to ask you and say, oh, Hannah, you said this yesterday. What happened to that? Any problem, small, big, physical, financial, any problem. You simply have to say today. Tomorrow, she will be the one to ask you. I have not seen this in anyone else. So I want to thank God for that quality in Usha. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, madam. Yeah, we also observed that. We also felt that many times. Yeah. So,
So Dr. Sudershan, I want to add one thing before Dr. Hannah leaves. There's one aspect I remember.
just
Yeah. So when we were there in the college, they all came as a new set of teachers. The struggle they had was gaining acceptance of us, and we were not willing to accept them. But among them, I can remember Dr. Mathews, her smile. For us, it was easy to approach her. It was not that difficult, and she won our hearts. The way she used to relate with us, that was a kind of a experience I still remember. Cool, composed, in spite of our kind of idiosyncrasies. Like we were seniors and we were behaving very differently with each teacher. So, but she took it very easy, very calm, and very non-judgmental is the word I would remember. The way she's all through and through. She's never, ever had any kind of evaluations about us. We were small kids at that time. We were seniors, and that air was there in some of our batchmates. That was something I remember, and I remember again and again I say, because of these young teachers who came, our college could revive. Otherwise, we would have lost that momentum. We would have lost the college itself. We were in that crisis. Thank you, Anna ma'am.
This is Esther here, Esther Glory. Can I go?
Yeah, Esther.
So first of all, I want to thank everyone who's here, and especially Sudershan and Kantha Rao for thinking and planning about this, because we are so far away, and I think this is the only way that we can get together, right? And I'm happy and sad for both things. Actually, Vinay told me, because I'm not in all the college groups. It's only this group that I'm in. Vinay told me, and I was very shocked, because I somehow felt that she would always be there. I know her since 1986. That is 38 years. I was calculating. And sorry, I'm emotional. And I know her very, very closely for 30 years. Because I was under fieldwork placements under her for both my undergrad as well as my master's. And then I did my PhD under her. So along with my life as I grew as a person, right, from a very young, like 17, 18-year-old to my, almost middle life, she was part of it. And there were a few tidbits of her life that I could, peek into. She would share a little bit. She was a Delhi Miranda girl, she studied in Delhi, her undergrad. And at that time, coming from Delhi, studying there, I know what it was. And then her move to Hyderabad. And all I saw were positive aspects. There was never any time, any concern about anything. And she would share the love that she had for her daughter-in-law, and I found that was such a nice, touching thing to be, I felt, oh, when I'm a mother-in-law, I'm going to be like that. They were very touching things. And I think when her husband and she, both of them retired, she moved back to Kerala to take care of her mother-in-law. So that was the love she had. So I hear how she has impacted all of us, even after she left college, right? She was in touch with us. She impacted us. And we know each other for almost 40 years. And we are here, thinking about her and us coming close or keeping us close to one another, though we were senior or junior, didn't matter. I think that was the hand that the faculty had. They kept us together. We were never against each other, right? We were always together. And no matter what different background, whether we were English speaking or whether we were Telugu medium or whatever, we always were together as a college. And we would always look for one another, right? When we go to other agencies, oh, is there someone from our college or another agency? Because we cared for each other. And I think all that was actually instilled by a faculty. And I'm very, very thankful to have such a faculty that even after all these years, and as Prasanna said, we are in our 60s, but we still think, early 60s, or, we haven't reached 60s, but we still think of a faculty so fondly. And especially coming to Anna ma'am, she was an embodiment of peace. She would be that calm, still water that nothing rippled. I always saw her, like in this 30 years that I have seen her very closely, she was very calm, very peaceful, and always giving. She was a very giving person. And I have no words to even say. I'm like, I feel I lost a very good person in my life, someone that I could always approach. She was very dependable. And I know she loved God a lot. And I think everything came through that. And I wish, I pray for the family that they would cope through all this, and pray for all of us as a family, College of Social Work family, that we would, continue to remember her and emulate what she has shown us. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Glory.
Thank you. I think Dr. Venkat Rao sir is joining, so it's late for him. So let us listen to him. He's just joining. Probably it must be 11 o'clock there, so 11 p.m. Hello, sir. Are you there? Can you hear me, sir?
Will sir connects? Can I speak? Sudershan, Parvati here.
Just I'm waiting to hear from Dr. Venkat Rao sir.
Mic is on.
Hello, sir.
Mic
Are
is
you
on.
there?
Sir,
Okay.
Venkat Rao, sir.
Go ahead.
He will take some time, looks. His
Okay.
connection.
Okay. Okay. Go ahead. Sorry, I thought Sir has joined previously and then gone. So it may be late. I thought maybe he should get a chance to share his thoughts. Okay, go ahead now,
Uh,
Parvati. Yeah.
yeah, man. Esther, well said. I mean, I thought, hello? Yeah, sir's come back.
Sir, can you?
No, there's a little issue with my mic here.
Okay. So, sir, do you want to go ahead? Because I don't know how late it is. We can't hear, sir. We can't hear, sir. Maybe it is mute.
Are you able to hear now?
Yes.
Yeah.
You are able to hear now. Okay.
Sir,
Maybe
it
late.
must be very late, sir. You can go ahead and share your thoughts. Yeah.
I'm sorry, it's late, but it's not such an important issue for my being late. You know, it's you're all discussing an important issue, so I decided to stay back. That's not a problem at all. So go ahead. I'll listen to some of you, and then I'll talk later.
That's fine, sir. Parvati, you can go ahead.
Like I was saying, so much to speak about her, but I mean, you sometimes fail for words. And we were from the first batch, and we were just about 12 of us, and 4 of us of that specialization. So invariably, we would go to their individual rooms, their private rooms, to have our classes. We would never have an entire classroom. So, and the way we would be taken in, and we had a very close interactions as part of our this thing. And then she was also my supervisor for my field work. She was really, I mean, I was just, and since the time we got to know of this, it was so shocking. One fine morning, you just get to know that she passed away. And because none of us knew, I guess most of us didn't know about her medical or health issues. It came as a rude shock. Not that we were in regular touch, but then we were hopeful that, we would continue to stay in touch. And also in the WhatsApp group, because she hadn't been responding for a very long time. Maybe that could have been a clue she wasn't doing good, or otherwise there was no reason that she would stay back. She wasn't the kind who would ever stay back and not answer. I think the last time she spoke to me was when one of our library assistants had passed away, and she wanted to know what we should do, things like that. But that was just the last time, and after that we couldn't really speak to her. And now I feel so guilty. I feel maybe we should have spoken on a regular basis, maybe on a weekly basis. But then all is gone. And I really hope the family copes up for passing away, just as each of us is trying to.
Yeah. Thank you.
Hi, Sudershan.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, because before I lose the network, because I'll be passing through some of the rural areas now. It's almost now 39 years that I know Anna ma'am. Since I joined in 1985 for my BSW. Now, remembering ma'am, the first thing comes to my mind is the charming face, the beautiful mind, down to earth attitude. Never ever got angry. Even shown a bit of expression that she is annoyed. Because I worked very closely for at least 2 years under ma'am. First in my second year when I was doing my field work in cancer hospital. So madam was supervisor, and also for my final year, if I recollect, ma'am was again my fieldwork supervisor for doing some slum placement. Madam, knew me that I came with lots of handicaps in terms of not being fluent in language and meeting different set of students there. But she was so encouraging. She's so motivating to me. It always pushed me that do well, and which helped me a lot. really improving on my not only language skills but also doing good at subjects. So that was a tremendous contribution that I would never forget about the ma'am. And in the last few years, when I was, making an effort to talk to ma'am, somehow it was coming to mind that I must meet or at least talk. And one day I happened to get her number. And it was almost 4 years ago I called up also when I was in Trivandrum. But madam happened to be in Bangalore with her children that time, so I missed meeting her. And madam was very down to earth. I recollect, once I was sitting in the library and was struggling with finding a book. She personally, she got up from the chair, she came to the rack and said, "This is the book I want you to read." I mean, that gesture I still don't forget about it. And also once, you know, I was asking ma'am, should I address you very different? So madam said, "No, you can address me as Miss also." So good of ma'am. So there were so many things to talk about, ma'am. But wonderful. Mahendra, we are losing you.
We have lost you, Mahendra. Little bit of what you have said towards then.
Yeah, we lost his contact. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think we missed the last part, last couple of points that you were sharing. Mahendra, are you back? Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yes, I can hear you now.
Yeah,
Can you
last
hear
couple
me?
of things that you said, we missed it because we
Hello.
lost voice here. There. You want to?
I'm a very wonderful person. And yeah. Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you.
We lost a very wonderful person. Yeah. And we'll miss ma'am forever. And I pay my tribute to ma'am from my heart, and also pray to the God that God provides strength to her family. Thank you, Sudershan. And Sudershan, thank you for organizing this meet, so that we could pay our tributes and speak our heart out. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. 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 So Sushila is sitting with me right here, so she wants to go. Maybe you can come on the screen.
No,
yeah. I think it's always better to see. Yeah, come. I'll be sitting here. Yeah.
I'm joining this link because my phone didn't catch up the Zoom link for some reason. I'm sorry about that, but at the outset, I would like to tell that my heartfelt condolences to ma'am's family, and it was night time for us, and we just saw a message, and I just saw a message on WhatsApp, and was shocked and couldn't believe. And the newspaper message was in Malayalam, I guess. So couldn't, but only picture, and somebody was responding, "We miss you." So that was a real, I was just wondering whether I'm reading it right. And so I looked at it 2 more times, and it was a shock, and I was in disbelief. I think falling short of words, and this forum at least provided us a platform to share our feelings and condolences. I was a student who took courses with her. I was not placed for field work under ma'am. My memory tells me that she was such a pleasant disposition she had, and she was approachable both professionally, personally, and impacted all of us, and we miss her. And I can again pray for God for her soul to rest in peace, and God provide her family strength to cope with this loss. Thank you for this opportunity.
Yes. Okay. Please go ahead. Those who have not shared their thoughts, then please feel free to come forward and share your thoughts.
Sudarshan, can I go ahead?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Thank you. First of all, thank you and Kantha for organizing this, and also good evening to Venkataraw sir and madam and other friends. I have, it's a really shock. Many of you have shared that, and it was a very difficult to accept that as a reality. I had three incidents to, when I got interaction with the madam. One is my PhD viva, where I was good at theory, but not very good at research. But when I was losing confidence, it's a madam who looked at me and gave a lot of confidence. And she was prompting and she was questioning, which are very comfortable for me to answer. So that is the one occasion where we had that day we spent a lot of time with Anna madam and also Dr. Lawless sir, and Sekhar was my guide. So it was I spent a lot of time on that day having some snacks or something like that. The other thing is that when I joined College of Social Work, leaving all mathematics, BSc and other things, it was very difficult. I was very scared to talk to any of the teachers, and only bit comfortable with Jagdish sir at that point of time. But whenever any occasion when I used to go to madam, ask something, finding very difficult to speak to her, she used to prompt us with her own, giving a vocabulary to, words to us. That is how she used to keep very comfortable. Mostly whenever I used to go to Anthony and myself, we used to go and talk. She was very, very, she gives immediate comfort to us. And off late, maybe 1 year back, I think so, when I was talking about certain social issues or, that is happening in the country. So one fine morning, I got a message from madam, and she expressed that she was worried about women, children, and the communities, the marginalized communities. Then I started interacting with her, that at least this 1-2 months went on. After that, we disconnected. I think she was also very much concerned about particularly children, women, and the marginalized communities. What is happening in the country at this point of time also she was very concerned. So I think she was very empathetic and very, very, she made definitely huge impact on every one of us. And always, I am indebted to her. We are all indebted to her. In fact, all the faculty members, we're always indebted to them. And it's a kind of loss, and it's never expected because we don't know, what is happening with her. It's so sad to hear this, and we never expected this kind of things will come soon. So very sorry for that, and thank you so much for this organizing and giving an opportunity to express. And we pray for her. And thank you so much, Sudarshanji and others. So thanks a lot for that. Thank you.
Thank you, Anjay.
Thank you.
Yeah. We have few others. Keshav from London, and we have Professor Saraswati here and Rajshekar. So please go ahead. Yeah.
Can I speak, sir?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm Rajshekar. BSW was from 1987 to 90, and from 90 to 92 was my MSW. So here, respected Hannah ma'am and Venkat Rao sir, and all the senior juniors. The outside, I would like to express my heartfelt condolences to the ma'am's family. Actually, it's not actually with the ma'am we have a very good relationship. Like it's not only that from the college and all, but even after also till recently also we had contacts with us. The reason because Rafi and me started an NGO called Hyderabad Council of Human Welfare. So she was the board member in that, and she guided all through. So this how that we have been with her. And remembering in the old days and all that when in BSW, in the very second year of BSW, I was placed under her supervision in the Mahabharat Nagar, located in Hyderabad. And she has really guided us well, throughout our field work. And she used to regularly visit also. Then after that, again, when I was in third year BSW, the ma'am got a project from the Diamond Jubilee High School, that was Aga Khan Foundations. So she picked up Rafi and me to do that project work. So, I mean, we got another chance to work with her closely. So we learned about the research work and all the study and all, how we can do all those things and all in the very, third year BSW. Then after that also that we continued, like I said, we started an NGO, so ma'am was continuously with us. And actually in MSW, my specialization was HR, that is IRPM, used to go that time. And so ma'am gave me, a break, like our very Saraswati ma'am's RS group of industries. So she referred me there. So actually, so I worked there, my first HR work. Then from there, again, I worked in a couple of other industries. Then again, madam suggested us to concentrate on the NGO. It would be, have a better thing. And also I left all those then. Again, we continue to work in this thing. So with ma'am's not like only during college or this kind of thing, but till very recently also. So we had very good contacts with her and very good guidance from her and all. So we feel very sorry that ma'am is no more, but actually she will be always in our hearts. So I pray for the family. So and thank you Sudershan Garu and Kantha Rao sir for giving this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Raj.
Thank you.
I think we can go ahead with Venkat Rao sir.
We have few others, and sir wanted to talk at the end. Yeah, Keshav, can you hear me?
I can hear you, sir. Thank you. Thank you for organizing
Okay.
this. Right. It was really very sad news when I read about Mathew ma'am. I felt I've lost someone of my own. And for last 2-3 days, I felt very bereavement. And I remember every day, ma'am, because she taught us casework methodology, and being a professional social worker, I still practice the principles, the methodologies ma'am taught us. And I always say thank you to all the faculty members of College of Social Work. They helped me to, they've influenced my thinking, my practice, and it's been really a great opportunity to be a part of College of Social Work, which has helped to shape my thinking, my behavior, and to become a social worker, which I will be always indebted to. As many of my seniors have said, I echo the same what everyone has said. Mathew ma'am was so down to earth and helping the students. I studied in Hyderabad in school, but I found her English was very high standard. And whatever she was saying in the PSW first year was going up on my, because I couldn't grasp the methodology, the words and the vocabulary the ma'am had. But ma'am has helped me in the first year. She was my supervisor and I was in Swikar Upkar time. And she took my hand, she helped me, she guided me. She used to correct my fieldwork notes. English. I don't have any more words to say. To know Mathew ma'am and to see Hannah ma'am, Reddy madam, Vanilla Bhaskar ma'am, English ma'am, Jagdish sir, Lal Das sir. Sir, you are we are very fortunate to have such a learned faculty in my life, which they have helped me to be what I am today. And every good things need to come to an end. And I pray for mom's soul to rest in peace and give a lot of strength to the family to cope. And I can see we are joining because we have such a love and affection for Anna Mathew ma'am that made us to join today from across the globe, wherever we are. Ma'am, wherever you are with us in the form of the knowledge you have imparted us through your teachings and your classroom. And we even if we can add 1% of what we have learned from your personality, I think that will be a great success as your students and to take your legacy forward. Thank you, Sudershan sir. Thank you, sir, everyone for organizing this. And
Keshav, a couple of things I really, yeah, thank you for sharing that. A couple of things that you said really resonated with me. One is that, she's a teacher. What you are saying, she used to give very specific, very powerful feedback on things that you submit, write, or say. And that was really useful to reflect on your own, what you have done, and then using that feedback to grow. That's a very important thing in the learning process. And she used to do it very, very professionally and thoroughly. And that was really, I also felt that many times, she was very pointed to the feedback, and she used to do it in a non-judgmental way. It's a very beautiful thing, and not many could do it, but she was very, very professional in doing that. Yeah. So,
and I remember, so she used to come from GD Metla in a public transport, even that's hot summer, and I never seen, she was always calm, composed, with a beautiful smile on her face.
Yeah.
And I used to see when she was walking from the cancer hospital gate, sometimes along with us, and just be a part with the students community who were taking the bus. And she being a professor and being at such a high position, she never saw anything. She was like a normal person, but her knowledge, her composedness, she was a very high standard. And even, as I said, even if I can even use 1% of our personality traits, I think that will be a great success. Thank you.
And another thing that you said is we are leaving her teachings. So that's a really beautiful way of saying it. You said it, Keshav. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. I think we are all our legacy, sir.
Yeah,
and we can continue that torch bearer for what she has given to us in terms of knowledge.
Yeah. Let's move on to those who have not spoken yet. If you feel like sharing some thoughts, you can. And there is some message. I don't know, Pravina, that you want me to read your message, or you are so emotional that you were saying in your message. Do you want to say it? She says, can speak. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Saraswati. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Good evening, everybody. And I would like to thank Professor Sudershan for creating this opportunity for all of us to recollect the good moments that we have had, the long-standing association that each one of us have had with Dr. Anna Mathew. And Anna Mathew ma'am has been a very amazing person to all of us. And the news came to me as a rude shock. I could not really digest, and it was really bothering me for more than 3-4 days. And it has been 5 years that I was associated since 87 to 92 during my BSW and MSW. And her lectures are still fresh in my mind. Her smiling face and the melodious voice and all her lecture notes and all I still follow today. And the as a fieldwork supervisor, she was really instrumental in sharpening my professional skills. And she used to read my report word by word and give constructive and very specific feedback, with the help of which I was able to sharpen my professional skills. And she used to teach me how to apply theoretical knowledge, because on Monday and Tuesday we used to have theory classes, and Wednesday and Thursday we used to have field work, and then Friday and Saturday we used to come back to the college. So how to integrate both theory and practice, that was being taught on a very regular basis. And she used to encourage me a lot by giving positive strokes, and it was very, very specific in nature. And I remember how the students used to wait for her supervisory conference in queues. And she was very, very patient, even at the, fag end of the day, like in the late evening and all, we used to wait in queues and attend the supervisory conference and get her feedback and all those things. And she was such a simple and humble person, very, very affectionate, very down-to-earth person. And she was ever willing to help the student community. So it is definitely an irreparable loss to the family members, not only to her own family members, but to the PG College of Social Work, to each one of us. And I pray the Almighty to give abundant strength to the bereaving family. And thank you once again for this wonderful opportunity, because we are definitely going to miss ma'am. And I don't know, I'm running short of words. Thank you.
Thank you.
I think I better go for a couple of minutes. And
Sure, sir.
I have been a colleague of Usha, Anna Mathew, as you call her, and even when we all joined together. One of the things that, as contemporaries, things which we notice, which are more at our own level, and things that I have noticed more recently when students started speaking about Anna Mathew through the WhatsApp, and just now, I actually am learning a few things about her. I knew for sure she was a wonderful teacher, because we never had. There's one person on whom there were never any complaints, because in my several years of career in the College of Social Work, I also had that opportunity occasionally to be an in-charge principal or something or the other, or being a number 2 in that kind of college setup. So I used to hear, sometimes complaints against me, complaints against somebody else, and things like that. Never, never, never did we have anyone raise any complaint on her. That itself shows to us a person, a persona, personality of someone who has always spread the wings of peace, and certainly there was some ambience and comfort around her. I think, it's not a bad, it's a good thing. It's a good feeling to talk about people who already evoked that motherly feelings even before they actually became mothers. I knew for sure that probably, when the 1977 batch, I think the first one, maybe some places my recollections can be a bit lost, but I think I was the first one to get married in 1977, and of course later on the others did. But for sure, when we talk in terms of personalities and we talk in terms of the comfort that the students felt, certainly Usha was one of the persons with whom people felt very, very comfortable. And, I'm not making a comment at the others who are left at this point of time in life, but certainly all of us, if we were to take a standpoint of view on ourselves and to basically just reflect, there's miles that we have been. There's a mile of a difference between how God has shaped her and how probably God has shaped us. There were ups and downs in everybody else that I could notice. I mean, we were very sharp. We were, mighty. We used to feel pretty mighty about ourselves. Some of us, at least myself. Bloody hell! Even now I feel I should have, humbled myself a long time ago. But these things happen. So when someone passes away, when you start reflecting on that person, when you use the word reflect, you're actually not just praising her, but you're also looking at yourself. I think Usha has passed on to us that opportunity for us to reflect and to see in the rest of the life that we have got, what are those few things that we could actually emulate? What are those few things that we could actually pass on? In many, many ways, even the leadership in our managing committees and the board of directors or whatever that you call at that point of time, plus the principals themselves, they would wait upon her and her advice. I think I did mention that we had a wonderful principal who recruited us called Katragada Venkateshwar Rao, who went through myriads of problems during the early stages of getting the college out from Purani Haveli to ICSW, and that all the Roda Mistri and Parin Vakaria problems and everything else, some of us which we don't know, but he would narrate to us. But he had a great equation with her, In fact, we used to be when we had staff meetings and everything, one person whom he would definitely ask would be Usha as to what does she think. And of course, she had an advantage because we were probably freshers from the universities. And she was already a fieldwork supervisor at that point of time in a great university, Lucknow University at that point of time in school, in social work. So that opportunity, that experience of even if it is 18 months experience or 12 months of experience of a big university working, has given her that edge to relate, to explain things to most of us. I know for one thing, gender, when people talk about is, when we talk about gender and gender issues, women tend to be, all together. And of course, they have spent more time, all the other colleagues, and I was only male person or a lecturer in that college at that point of time. Until a few years later, Jagdish joined us. And initially, when we were all together, it was a very small, tiny room. I can't even understand how could we, 5 of us or 6 of us actually sit in that room, or did we actually do a musical chairs? But then that's the way we grew up, and we saw limited amount of money. And you talked about people traveling by public transport. I think this is the gentleman Keshav, whom have not had the privilege of teaching at all. I think I missed him out. He has obviously talked about people taking public transport, people taking, coming in with dedication from big distances. The genre in which we were all brought up and the way today things are different. Of course, the country has progressed too. But certainly, Usha, Saraswati, Hannah, all these people have had and have utilized public transport until, of course, their weddings took place and their marriages, and their partners used to come around and drop them, and this is how things have grown. Yes, I have been a professional. All of us have been professional social workers, but I've been taking a little more interest into the Association of Schools of Social Work, and I've also taken a little bit of interest in the National Association of Professional Social Workers. It was, in fact, a year ago, the NAPSWI, when it was looking forward to nominate people for an award for their localized work, regional work, humble work, Usha's name came up. And in fact, the president of NAPSWI actually spoke to her approximately a year and a half ago. And he too was told, obviously, not to tell others. So basically, whoever within the family and whoever has been very close to her knew that Usha was going through her bad time, going into the ICUs, coming back from the hospital back to her home and things like that. So we did not know about it. So naturally, the NAPSWI also never told me. Otherwise, I would have hastened my trip. In fact, this is the 2024. I decided that when I make my regular Cochin trip, I would obviously go all the way to Kottayam and spend some time with them and have a look at some of the aged care facilities, or what we call pension homes, because we ourselves were thinking in terms of, hey, how about leaving this country and coming back to India? And if we had to go to India, where do we go? So yeah, those are the kind of things that we are thinking about. So I have missed the opportunity, but I have talked to her more recently, and the more recently is, oh gosh, it's about 18 months or 19 months ago. I have missed seeing her closely in the Zoom sessions of Sudarshan, which is arranged, but we are fortunate. She's never missed a single one. She's always been associated with it. In the WhatsApp group, she's been a constantly encouraging person for the students, particularly the old one, which that Purushottam Raj has done. And unfortunately, it is closed down. Anyway, when I got this information, obviously, for a couple of days, we were very, very unsettled. I've become teary, and Nisha and myself. Nisha is my wife. And we have started looking at our old wedding album, and actually the reception album of 1977 when I got married. My God, we were all looking very, very lanky, thin, tiny, tiny pieces in those black and white photographs. And I could see Hannah, I could see even Rhoda Mistry and everybody else, very, very thin and thin-sized people. So we reminisced on them. We have a number of pictures. I didn't want to, put up those pictures at that point of time. And yes, I have memories of the Sanjeev Reddy Nagar area, and I've had memories of the IDPL, those areas where people used to live. Certainly, it's not easy, not just for the family, but also for the friends. And we have been friends since 77 to 1992 as colleagues. And it's only a little bit of time that I was away, maybe for about 4 years or 5 years. And one of my important projects of mine in my life was constructing the Center for Environment Concerns. You'll be surprised to know she was one of the foundation members of the Center for Environment Concerns. It's altogether a different story that a stupid management committee asked her to, resign because I was part of some another stupid controversy for a little while. So she left it. Otherwise, she had a commitment to environment and ecology too. And she was the only first member from the College of Social Work who was associated with me in an NGO. So, which is not surprising that she later on became a managing committee member or board of directors of the welfare center, which Kesha was talking about. Certainly, she was one of those persons who did concern herself with, has an empathy, a true empathy towards the community, and that made her very, very special. I remember her PhD days, and of course, most of the others followed PhDs over a period of time. She was, I think there was an aura of the Lucknow University on the College of Social Work for a variety of reasons, not only just because of Usha, but it's also because of the Venkateshwar Rao, who had a guide from Lucknow, and Mamata Lakshmana, who was Professor Lakshmana's wife, all these people. But then, of course, these were the only people who used to always constantly talk about this would happen in Lucknow and this would not happen in Lucknow. And we would always talk about how other schools also have an inspiration and story. So it was one of those times when anybody else talks about Lucknow, people will not listen to. But if Usha talked about Lucknow, it came in a very sweet tone, in a very, very humble way. So it made a big difference to all of us in accepting. So I think one of the roles that Usha and others played in the college was we all came from different schools. I think once Hannah mentioned that, and once Saraswati also mentioned that. We all came from Madras School, Lucknow, Baroda, and various other places. And so naturally, we built up the Hyderabad school with an amalgam of our ideas. And some of us have grown, almost it's the only place that we could remember. And I'm grateful that some of the 1977 batch are still continuing, like Hannah and Vanilla Bhaskar until now. She was there because what else is there? Employment, people change many jobs, and some of us haven't changed, so we continue to be. Yes, as alumni and as colleagues, if there is any venture in which that you want to bring about a memorial in the College of Social Work or a trophy or something or the other, I think it's time to think about, because I'm not sure how many prizes you've got there other than the old National National Policy 1979 seminar policy gold medal or something for BSW. But it's time that some things can be instituted on Anna Mathew. And let me hear what those thoughts could be. And maybe, not a bad idea to introduce, Usha Mathew, a memorial lecture there, particularly or a conversation, particularly from the alumni who have been inspired by her to take on medical social work and psychiatric social work and the disabilities social work, which have to always fight for a place for themselves, because they work so much under the medical model, and we get a different kind of a feeling. We are all based on an ecological model, and we want to work with the individual from an individual perspective. And so, if people are thinking about it or can take this as a thought, it's worthwhile for someone with medical and psychiatric background type of conversation or overarching allied health kind of a conversation or a talk or a debate or a memorial lecture that could be started in the college if the college continues to remain where it is, because it's got a building and everything else. And she has been a principal of that particular college. I think I'll stop there and I'll continue to hear from others. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. I pray for Mohan, Rohit, and the sister and everyone else.
Thank you, sir. We have a couple more. If you'd like to share, please go ahead.
Thank you so much, Dr. Venkat Rao. A lot of reminiscing, a lot of water under the bridge, but you brought these things alive. Now we are so thankful for each one of you, Sudershan and Kantha Rao, for having organized this group. And Kantha Rao has been there with us since 77. And thank you, Venki. It's been a beautiful narration of all that Usha means to us in so many different ways. I just want to thank Usha for the part she played in my life, and that we could learn from her. We could, as many of the children said, yes, there is a lot that we could set before us. So God bless all of you. I think it's time for me to leave. Thank you all very, very much.
Thank you.
Thank
all.
you, Keshav.
Thank you,
That was a
ma'am.
beautiful. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Bye. Bye,
Thank
ma'am.
you. Yeah. So I see a couple more. Harinder, do you want to share any thoughts? And Praveena, a couple more. Then we'll I have some closing thoughts to wind up the session.
No, I want to, sir. If Praveena madam want to go first, I'll,
Okay. Yeah,
till
please.
next time.
Praveena, do you want to go? Share whatever you can.
Sir, I've sent my.
Yeah, you sent a message. I saw that, but briefly, if you want to say something, that's fine. Yeah.
Please.
So what Praveena sent as a message is pranams to all the teachers.
Implementing. I will never forget.
Okay. And she's emotionally emotional, so she can't talk, but she sent a message that she had a great learning from her and she enjoyed listening to her and her lectures. And she says that she left a great legacy for social work professionals. That's what Praveena wanted to say. She is emotional, so she could. Okay, so let Harinder go ahead and share your thoughts. Then I'll be making some closing comments.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Really, it's a great honor to study under her. She was my teacher. She was my principal, and she was my boss in the first job, which I could not able to continue because she was expecting me to do better job by going out in the field than into academics initially of my career. So with her guidance, I went out to work and I came back. From the academics part, what I want to learn from her is, so I'm from a batch of 2005 BSW. During my course time, she used to carry a dictionary, pocket dictionary into the class. And she used to search for words meaning in the class. We were really surprised, being as a lot of people said, English is really a difficult language, and to catch up that language, we need to be updated with the words and continuously learning. It happened to be shock to us because a big professor searching in front of us the words in the dictionary, and it was so humble to also learn from her that you can learn at any time. And secondly, coming to the fieldwork part, I really believe just having just 5 years or 7 years of time to there, they never had that boredom. Like, okay, we done guided so many students. They used to come to fieldwork to check with us whether we are doing the fieldwork or not. At the end of the day, after their working hours, they used to come to our community and check where are our students. Anna ma'am used to maintain a book in our community. Jagdish sir used to come, and Mathew ma'am used to come. They used to follow up all the students. Where are this group? Where is this group? What they are doing? And apart from that, she was the first one to teach class, because in my term, I think Lalda sir was retired from being principal. Then Mathew ma'am took the charge of principal. Nothing changed after taking principalship, because she was the first one to take class in BSW, and she used to have the class really, as somebody mentioned, Mr. Keshav sir mentioned that all the words English was really bouncing on over my head too, sir. It was never never was easy for me. I used to understand from other friends what she did, what she spoke. And coming to projects part, I really learned a lot of games. Still, I remember clearly and crisply what games she conduct. I think she was really associated with Alliance International and Leprosy India. They used to have a lot of projects in the college, which was one of the revenue model for the college too. And to that, with that projects, they used to teach some brainstorming sessions, the ice-breaking sessions in the college. We used to have that access to see those kind of activities, and we learned a lot from all these exposures. And we used to be sent to different conferences. Like I've been to Chennai, Madras Christian College, where I got motivated to join my masters in Madras Christian College. And ma'am was very happy that, okay, you are exploring yourself, you'll get really good exposure. And after that, she used to really enjoy the growth of each student. She used to enjoy it. Oh, how come you're doing? Wow, it's really wonderful. We never thought of you in such a way. You were never serious about your studies. But really, you're transforming in a really surprising way. And one of the food habits, ma'am have the style of eating curd. She used to have a combination of curd and rasam, which even now I'll practice, because this was an opportunity for us. It's really blessing for us, where they hosted a lunch for BSW final year, where I was serving ma'am. I was having curiosity, why you are mixing both of them having ma'am. Then she said, I don't need to add salt into it when I have the combination of rasam and curd. So I can avoid adding salt into the curd, which normally people will do. And then I took up that habit, and I took a lot of habits from all the teachers, which I'm practicing in my college, and able to transfer my knowledge, what I gained from my teacher, to my students now. And thank you so much, sir, for the opportunity. And one of the students is also listening to all these things.
Okay.
He is my present MSW first year student. And it is I mean, I can understand what the amazing journey everybody had, and being a youngest among you people, I also enjoyed. I used to also cherished that her aura during our course time. Anna Mathew ma'am lives on, even Jagdish sir lives on. Thank you so much, sir, for this opportunity.
Thank you, Harinder. I think it's already 1.5 hours or so. First of all, I would like to thank all of you for joining this session. This session is devoted to Dr. Anna Mathew ma'am and her memories with her. So we all have had powerful memories, and we had great experiences, and that shaped our professional careers and also our personal lives, because we learned so many things from her, who was a role model, great role model at a personal level and professional level. So it's like some are able to express, some might not be able to express all their thoughts. But I personally, as a student, what I have experienced as a colleague and a professional who is working in the same field for a long time. But when I have seen a faculty, not only in India, but also in the US, and she is a remarkable, outstanding, and very few faculty I can put in that category. And topmost 2% of faculty members, educators, social work educators, and she is one of them. She is that kind of educator, social work educator, who had not only really inspired many generations of social workers, but also shaped their lives in so many ways. Because we were young when we came to PSW, and that is where we were looking for more guidance, mentoring, and supportive role. So she was able to offer all of that. And she was very calm, quiet, but at the same time powerful. And I resonate with one of the points one of you said. I have not seen her any time showing any kind of anger or expression annoyed with any of us. So I have not seen her in her that aspect. So I have seen faculty getting sometimes, getting angry or showing some annoyance at times, but she never expressed. I never felt that. So I do resonate with so many of you. So I think we have a lot of great memories of her. So great teacher she has been. And one way to continue her legacy, what she has embodied as a social work professional, as a teacher, as a leader in a social work profession. Though she has not assumed the role of a leader, but she is a leader because she had so much of influence on our many generations of social. So definitely she is a leader in a social work field and social work profession. So continuing her legacy, what she stood for, what she lived for, and what she has embodied, I think we as an alumni should think about some ways how we can continue her legacy. And a few thoughts, of course, Dr. Venkat Rao sir already mentioned a couple of things that I was thinking about are this. So I would like to propose that let us have some sort of form a committee who we can meet and brainstorm what we can do in memory of Dr. Anna Mathew Madam. So maybe some service projects we can undertake, one project somewhere we can undertake, that is one. And certainly I agree with Dr. Venkat Rao sir on starting some kind of annual lecture in the name of Dr. Anna Mathew Memorial Lecture. We can do it. And I am personally committed as a professional, as her student. So I would definitely, in a year, next year, by her first anniversary, we should have, coinciding her first anniversary, we should have an annual lecture. Either we do it independently, or we also think about instituting it at the university level, so that we bring all the schools of social work, also social work professionals in Hyderabad come together, because it was one of the things, giving a lot more visibility involving the Usmania University. So let us think about that, and then also think about doing some sort of scholarship under her name, which can be awarded to a student, BSW we have, and I don't know whether we have any MSW, but we can certainly, it can be awarded to a student who is a top rank or a top student in our medical and psychiatry specialization of that area. So let us think about doing some sort of scholarship, and we can do some fundraising for that. I think these are the thoughts that I have. And certainly I would, I'm also making some commitment that I would, for the annual lecture, I would donate some money and to start with. So those who want to contribute, and then let's see how we can institute this annual lecture at the university level. And around next first anniversary, we should organize this annual lecture. So thank you, sir, for suggesting that. And I was also thinking on similar lines. Yeah.
Sudarshan, sorry, before we wrap up, can I just say something?
Sure.
Just wanted to say, truly inspired by Anna ma'am and greatly motivated by Dr. Venkat Rao sir, I would like to pledge that I would love to take classes at the College of Social Work on medical and psychiatric social work, which has been my specialization and which is very rightly pointed by Dr. Venkat Rao sir. So I think things that I couldn't, I have gained over the years, over 30 years of experience working in a reputed hospital, I would like to share with the students so they get a good work on experience. And I would love to take, next month end I retire from active service. So I would love to take classes at the College of Social Work as and when they need me. Thank you.
Absolutely.
I would like to place that on record. So we would like to, take her legacy forward. At least I would like to do this way.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So please, those who are interested to join some kind of committee, please send me your interest, and if you are want to be part of that. So this is only a committee that will do some more brainstorming how to go about and develop some strategy, or that could also serve as a committee that can guide the first annual lecture in the name of Dr. Anna Mathew. So please send your interest, and so open to any of our alumni and faculty members. So we will meet separately and then discuss further on that. So the learning community sessions will continue. So there are some individuals who have already expressed interest. So I'll be scheduling a session in August, first week. So then we'll be doing that session as well. So any thoughts, Dr. Kantha Rao, you want to share? So you are muted. Dr. Kantha.
Yeah, the idea committee, we can set a date so that people will volunteer, and setting up an annual lecture in the name of Dr. Anna Matthews is a good idea, and it will also give opportunities for the students of College of Social Work, and we encourage they are encouraged to express their ideas. More so, students who Mathew ma'am have guided in PhD or in supervision, those students, if they volunteer, it will be nice because they know her passion areas. And around those passion areas, some invitation of papers and publishing of papers can help remembering her and her work.
Yeah.
We can convert those annual lectures into book, conference paper book, which can be useful.
Right. We can do that. Yes.
Yeah. I think there are a couple of things that Sudarshan and myself will be possibly be looking at is in case around the NAPSWI time, there is a women's conference coming up, and Parvati did ask as to Parvati or someone asked about where is this National Conference of Social Work taking place this year. At some point of time, it is taking place, yes. I think concerted effort can be done in such a way that while it may not necessarily be one whole year, but since last year there was a opportunity for her to go and physically receive an award, and that has not actually taken place. With whatever my role is, I mean, it's very funny. I still have some 20 cents worth of influence in India. And although I'm not an Indian professor there, but I will be writing to them seriously to make that commitment and offer the award. And Parvati, I want to encourage you to, while you do take up the social work teaching that you have promised yourself, it's a very bold and a great promise, because you have done, you are a very capable social worker. I have infinite amount of faith in you. But I want you to do one thing: go to this conference. I will try and see that Mohan comes to that conference at that point of time, or his daughter comes to that conference. And if Sudarshan is there, I do not know the time, but some few months from now, if Sudarshan is also there, well, your lecture could be the lecture to start with almost 35 years of your social work in medical social work as an inspiration from Anna Mathew. That itself will be a very good lecture for the first year, and later on and make sure that all the PhD students and everybody else can also take place. I mean, this is something that it can be started off. So I've, in fact, from the LL, what I have done is I've even actually put a few names in the meeting chat. Please consider names beyond that. Sudarshan has already given his commitment, and I would move a few political steps and a few, not politics as such, but committed social workers understand me better. I will talk to the NAPSWI, which is a national organization, to root this. And Sudarshan, with his capacity to influence Usman University, will also make sure that there is something memorable out there. And I think, what can we do? That's all that we could do. Emulate her work, keep that going. Someone who knows her as closely as you are, write your reminiscences, and put that up, and help the college. I suppose Harinder, who is still the STEM at the college, can definitely take the ideas and ensure that the college benefits, and the profession also benefits over time. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Any other thoughts? Anyone wants to just any closing or running thoughts you can share? But otherwise, we can close this session. Then, so we all are here to remember our great teacher and our mentor, and we have expressed our thoughts, and our thoughts. This session has been recorded, so we will be sharing our thoughts, this recording, with Dr. Anna Matthews, Madam's family. And certainly the best way to leave her, continue her legacy is to do what she liked and what she did during her lifetime. And we continue that. And that's the best tribute that we can give to our teacher.
Yeah, that best can symbolize Dr. Anna Mathew. And,
thank you. Yeah.
in everything we do. Thank you so much. Thanks for all participating. Thank you all for participating in this community.
Thank you for organizing this. Thank you very much, Anna.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dr.
Thank you.
Kantha Rao.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Sudarshan. Thank you, Dr. Kantha Rao.
Thank you, sir, for staying with us for till this time. And it was such a blessing to have you here. Yeah. And this great move. Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Venkat Rao Garu. Anna ma'am left, I think.
So bye-bye for now. Thank you all.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
All the best.